loves, it's Ray, and I'm back with another word. And as you can tell from the title, this one is going to be from the book of Exodus, and this is your Exodus, your deliverance, seeing the Lord's hand in your situation. So first off, if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for continued support. And if you are new here, thank you for stopping by the channel, checking out the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you are notified of any future uploads. So go ahead and get into the word. So like I said, your deliverance, your Exodus, and it's coming out of the book of Exodus. But also I had a dream, and the Lord gave me this dream on July 25th. And so in the dream, I had been asking him after I had the dream, like, to give me more details, to give me more insight and some more confirmation and clarity about what exactly he was trying to tell the dream. I was it's like I was about to get into the shower, and then like my mom came into my room, and she started telling me about a dream that she had. So as she's speaking in my dream, I'm also visibly seeing her dream as she's telling me what was happening in her dream. So basically, a basketball showed up. It like kind of fell into her hands, and it had four I'm gonna say like bars, like a poem or something, 4 verses, and I couldn't remember them once I woke up. I just remember the last one, and it said, "Just remember, I love you and Jesus loves you too." And that was the last one. When my mom was in the dream telling me about this dream that she had, she told me what the 4 verses were that appeared on the basketball. And then she started to tell me about my personal situation. And as she was speaking about my personal situation, I was seeing like a vision of different people pertaining to my situation. And then she said, this had been going on for a year and a half. And then she's like, so in the dream, she was like, so I took that as tomorrow. And then she said, I can't wait for him to come back so everyone can see. I'm just ready for all this to be over with. And then after that, I woke up. So I'm like, of course, I'm like, okay, Lord, give me more information. So I wanted more information that it pertained to a personal situation, but it also was confusing for me. The thing that I was mostly concerned about was the tomorrow. Because I knew that it probably wouldn't literally be the next day. So maybe like a week and a half went by, and I think it was Friday, this past Friday, he led me to Exodus. And then so I started reading Exodus just from the beginning, and I was just reading it. And as I'm reading the book of Exodus, it's just ringing bells as Exodus gives us the story of Moses and how Moses was, of course, called by God to be a messenger to Pharaoh for his people, for the Israelites, for them to be free from Egypt. Throughout the course of the story, it gives us the different series of the Lord showing his signs and wonders for Israel and his officials and all the people who were oppressing the Israelites, or the Lord's children. Basically, he was giving them chance after chance, but at the same time, he intentionally hardened their hearts, and he knew that they were not fearing the Lord. So basically, every time the Lord would send disaster their way, he sent it to them as a sign, like, I'm telling you these things are going to happen, and then boom, they happen. But every time it would happen, Pharaoh still wasn't fearing the Lord. And like I said, the Lord knew. He already told Moses that Pharaoh's heart is going to be hardened. So he would tell Moses to pray for him, for the Lord to lift these things off of Egypt and off of him. And then he would agree in that moment, he would agree to free the Israelites. But once the things would be lifted off of him, he would go back on his word. And the Lord already knew, obviously. That eventually is what led to Moses being able to part the Red Sea. Pharaoh and his people, the Egyptians, pursued the Israelites as they crossed into the water. That is when the Lord allowed the Egyptians to follow the Israelites into the sea, and they were consumed by the water, and they were all dead. And the Israelites were obviously set free, and they were safe, and they were able to look back and see that their oppressors were now dead. He literally said, your oppressors will be no more. So like I said, as I was reading, I'm gonna share the different pieces in the video, but as I was reading it, it would just obviously just give me more and more confirmation as to what specifically he told me in my dream, but like I said, in the book, he was talking about Israel and, you know, his people. But for his children, we know that we are his children. So the word still applies to us in our personal situations, even literally right now, as I'm making this video. Like, you may have been seeing the past few weeks all the differences that are taking place literally all across the world, and that's literally the exact type of things that were going on in the book of Exodus. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with y'all these verses and then explain to you as I go. So Exodus 3:7, the Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I'm concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them out of that land into a good spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey. So, like I said, he knows what we're going through. He's been seeing the things that our enemies have been doing to us. It may have been for years, for a while now. He's been seeing it, and he's been hearing your tears. He's been hearing your prayers. He's seen your tears. He's seen all the hardships that you've dealt with, and that he's giving you the strength to overcome. Now you are about to, and you may have been wondering, like, are you going to show up? When are you going to show up? When are you going to show up? But he's telling you right now, he's about to show up, and you're going to see it, and you're going to know that it's him. He's about to set you free. Exodus 6:6. Therefore, say to the Israelites, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians. I will free you from being slaves to them, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with mighty acts of judgment. And even like around the world, and we're starting to see these things, all these natural disasters all over the place. Like, where you've been hearing about the Lord's judgment about to be released, just all over the world for many different reasons. But even in this instance, in your oppressors, like for the ones whose hearts have been hardened and they refuse to repent, they refuse to turn for their ways, and you are about to see that judgment come on them as well. My mom was telling me about a dream that she had, and then once she finished the dream, she was like, so I took that as tomorrow. So this is where I said, whoa. So Exodus 8:10, tomorrow, Pharaoh said. Moses replied, it will be as you said, so that you may know there is no one like the Lord our God. As the Lord had already told Moses before he even began his quest and got to Pharaoh to deliver the messages, he had already told him that Pharaoh's heart would be hardened. So that's why Moses said what he said. But in 8 and 9 it says, the magician said to Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. But Pharaoh's heart was hard and he would not listen, just as the Lord had said. So this was after the first plague that God had released to them as a sign to show them who God really is. Going to make a distinction between his people and those people. He's going to make a distinction. And in Exodus 28:22 it says, but on that day I will deal differently with the land of Goshen, where my people live. No swarms of flies will be there, so that you will know that I, the Lord, am in this land. I will make a distinction between my people and your people. This sign will occur tomorrow. So that distinction is going to be that his children, the Lord's children, will not be suffering. The Lord's children will not be touched. But when you see these things around you happening, and you see the anguish and the misery and the fear and the disaster that's coming on these other people and these lands, other countries, you're gonna know that it's the Lord's judgment, and they're gonna see the difference between what they're going through and then what you're going through, what the Lord's children are going through. We're gonna be in our land of milk and honey. They're gonna be going through their judgment. The Lord set a time and said, tomorrow the Lord will do this in the land. And the next day the Lord did it. So remember, back to the dream, after my mom said, so I took that as tomorrow. She said, I can't wait for everyone to see. I was ready for this to be over with. Continues on, and after every plague, his heart was still hardened. So in Exodus 9 it says, for this time I will send the full force of my plagues against you and against your officials and your people, so you may know that there is no one like me in all the earth. For by now I could have stretched out my hand and struck you and your people with a plague that would have wiped you off the earth. But I have raised you up for this very purpose, that I may show you my power and that my might may be proclaimed in all the earth. You still set yourself against my people and will not let them go. Therefore, at this time tomorrow, I will send the worst hailstorm that has ever fallen on Egypt from the day it was founded till now. So right there, like I said, it could be going on for years, like an extended period of time, and throughout the time, you're like, Lord, where are you at? Why am I going through this? Why haven't you shown up? But he says it right here. But I raised you up for this very purpose, that I may show you my power and that my name might be proclaimed to all the earth. He hardened their hearts, and he allowed them to kind of continue in their ways. They thought that could basically just continue on living, there would be no consequences, and basically not fearing the Lord, and hardened their hearts. His intention was to show them exactly who he is, and that he is the Most High, he is Almighty, he is the Lord, the one and only, the true and living God. So the Lord said in Exodus 9:26, the only place it did not hail was the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were. Then Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron. This time I have sinned, he said to them. The Lord is in the right, and I and my people are in the wrong. Pray to the Lord, for we have had enough thunder and hail. I will let you go. You don't have to stay any longer. Moses replied, when I have gone out of the city, I will spread out my hands in prayer to the Lord. The thunder will stop, and there will be no more hail. So you may know that the earth is the Lord's. But I know that you and your officials still do not fear the Lord. Pharaoh saw the rain and hail and thunder had stopped. He sinned again. He and his officials hardened their hearts. So Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he would not let the Israelites go, just as the Lord had said through Moses. So in some instances, people may have, like, over the years, people may have been going through like minor stuff. They would pray, like they would pray, and then they would see things for them kind of calm down and settle down, and then they would continue on tormenting you, whatever they were doing, and they would continue on doing it, and they were thinking that they were getting away with. They were thinking they were slick. So just like Pharaoh, like right after the things would be lifted, he would go right back and do the same thing. He'd go right back against his word, and he would do the same thing again. This is Exodus 10:1. Then the Lord said to Moses, go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his officials, so that I may perform these signs of mine among them, that you may tell your children and grandchildren how I dealt harshly with the Egyptians and how I performed my signs among them, and that you may know that I am the Lord. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, this is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long will you refuse to humble yourselves before me? Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will bring locusts into your country tomorrow. He didn't listen. The Lord released a plague. Then, of course, he called Aaron and Moses back. He admitted that he sinned against the Lord, asked for Moses to pray for him again, to take the deadly plague away from him. So in Exodus 11, the Lord speaks to Moses, and he said, I will bring one more plague on Pharaoh and on Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here, and when he does, he will drive you out completely. Tell the people that men and women alike are to ask their neighbors for articles of silver and gold. The Lord made the Egyptians favorably disposed towards the people, and Moses himself was highly regarded in Egypt by Pharaoh's officials and by the people. The Lord, each time Pharaoh basically disobeyed the Lord and went back on his word, the Lord would release another plague. But the Lord was doing this. The Lord was hardening his heart. His intention was that his wonders would be multiplied in Egypt, of course, so that they will not be able to deny the Lord. They will not be able to deny who he is. Exodus 11:9 says, the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you, so that my wonders may be multiplied. So then we get to Exodus 12, and in Exodus 12 it talks about how we are to commemorate. Let this be a reminder every year of when the Lord set us free. Exodus 12:2. This month is to be for you the first month of your year. Tell the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb for his family, one for each household. Take care of them until the 14th day of the month, when all the members of the community of Israel must slaughter them at twilight. This is how you are to eat it, with your cloak tucked into your belt, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. On that same night, I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals. I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood will be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you. No destructive plague will touch you when I strike Egypt. This is a day for you are to commemorate. For the generations to come, you shall celebrate as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance. So, like I said, there's going to be a distinction between his people and those people, and he's going to know the things, destructive things around you when I touch you. Psalm 91, destructive things around you when I touch you. To forever remember this day and each year to come to celebrate, and those were the instructions on the 10th day and the 14th day. But even then, it's no coincidence that he led me to this in the month of August, and you have been hearing that. I know I said in previous videos about the new beginning, and it being August. Those with ears, let them hear. Exodus 14:4. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them. But I will gain glory for myself through Pharaoh and all of his army, and the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord. So the Israelites did this. The Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, so that he pursued the Israelites who were marching out boldly. The Egyptians, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots, horsemen and troops, pursued the Israelites and overtook them as they camped by the sea. Opposite Balzaphon. I couldn't say that name, so I just skipped over it. But so he's telling us, don't be afraid. We are children of the Most High. We have no reason to be afraid. Do not be afraid. Stand firm. And it says Exodus 14:13. Moses answered to the people, do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring to you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. So, I mean, for some people, this honestly could actually be death, but in other cases, it'll just be the situations that you're going through. They're about to be dead. Like the situation, they won't come against you again. They won't rise up a second time. That day, the Lord saved Israel from the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians lying dead on the shore. And when the Israelites saw the mighty hand of the Lord displayed against the Egyptians, the people feared the Lord and put their trust in him and in Moses, his servant. Once again, as I've said in some of my most recent videos, he's about to show up and you're going to know that it's him. He's about to deliver you. So just be prepared. Like, just know that, let this word be confirmation and really a word of encouragement. And, just take this word to the Lord, and he will give you peace about it. He will give you confirmation about your situation, whatever your situation may be. Exodus 15 says, he said, if you listen carefully to the Lord your God and do what is right in his eyes, if you pay attention to his commands and keep all his decrees, I will not bring on you any of these diseases I brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you. Exodus 16:6 says, so Moses and Aaron said to all the Israelites, in the evening you will know that it was the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, and in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your grumbling against him. And he's heard your prayers, he's seen your tears, he's heard your cries, he's seen everything that's going on. But it was all part of his plan, so we need to stand in faith in that. Let our hearts be at rest and be at peace in that he will not leave us. He will not leave us out to suffer, and he will not really allow us to go on any longer. He's about to show up and he's about to do it. So you need only to be still and trust in the Lord. He will fight for you. Okay? Yeah. So for like this man, like I said, been going on for years. Like I said in my dream, when my mom was telling me about her dream, she was like, this been going on for a year and a half. I'm ready for him to just show up so everybody can see. I'm ready for this whole thing to be done with. Sis, I'm ready for this to be done with too, for real. But like I said, it's not just in our personal situations. It's literally all these countries, the whole nation, the whole world. Like I mentioned about the natural disasters is going. He's setting his children free, and he's doing it for his glory and for the whole world to know who he is. To humble these people who have not been humble, who have been disobedient, who have refused to turn from their ways, their wicked ways, who have refused to repent, whose hearts have been hardened, who have been out for themselves, or I'm saying, just all this stuff. Worshiping the wrong people, the wrong things, putting their trust in the hope in the wrong people, the wrong things. So like I said, just I pray that this word is a word of encouragement to you all, confirmation to many. Take the word before the Lord, test the spirit, of course. We encourage you to really go and read Exodus for yourself. It may speak to you. He may speak to you in that way as you're reading, the same way he did for me. As you're reading, as it pertains to your situation, you may get more clarity, information just from doing that alone. Just know he's about to show up. He's been giving me this word for I don't know how long, for basically the whole month of July, and it's still now. So I pray this word bless you guys. Please share this word with anyone who you feel may need to hear it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll be back soon with another word.